Sometimes I think, Madam Speaker, that we don't even want to talk about colonisation. That's in the too hard basket for this House, and it's seen as an excuse. But we all have a duty and an obligation to talk fairly and rationally about how colonisation devastated this country, Madam Speaker, and in fact devastated countries all around the world in terms of Indigenous people. Madam Speaker, as you know, I worked for 10 years on Talkback Radio. And when a Māori baby died, I would come into the studio the next day and pick up emails telling me, "Oh, Jackson, your people are murderers. Jackson, your people are abusers." We'd be overwhelmed with emails telling us what a rotten race we were. And when Māori went to jail, Madam Speaker, emails would come in, "Oh, you're 15% of the population, Jackson, but you're 50% of the jail population. Oh, Willie Jackson and John Tamahere, all your people are criminals. You're all criminals." And when a Māori business went broke, Madam Speaker, or some individual Māori stole some money from the boss, emails would come in and they would say, "See, Jackson, your people can't be trusted. You're all thieves." And sadly, our people fill every negative statistic in the prisons and in terms of abuse, violence, health, education, employment, you name it, Māori lead the way. I attended an institute the other day and I had a young Māori woman telling me that the reason why Māori are murdering too many people and raping too many people and abusing too many people was all because of the Pākehā. In my opinion, humble opinion, colonisation has a lot to answer for. As the Honourable Krista Finlayson said, this country will only grow when the true story's out there. What is colonisation? It's about dehumanising Indigenous people and allowing the transfer of power and resources from Indigenous people to the newcomers. If you want to look at the effects, they are immense. So it puts to bed some of the nonsense that Mr Goldsmith was talking about earlier, sir, in terms of how wonderful colonisation has been for Māori. We have seen the terrible effects through this kaupapa and through so many kaupapa that our people have been part of.
In 1840, colonisation brought immense benefits to Māori. The ending of cannibalism, slavery, infanticide and tribal warfare, and the beginning of quality food, clothing, housing, transport, hygiene, health, property rights, language, fauna, flora, law and order.
When people talk about the impacts of colonisation, look what happened to our people. Look what happened to our people. And I know, Mr Speaker, having had different kōrero with different ministers, when we talk about impacts and we talk about our people, sadly in a dysfunctional way, because we fill all the worst statistics, sadly, in terms of domestic violence and abuse and all that. We're trying to change that. Previous government tried to change that. We're trying to change that.
Secrets came to this country on the Endeavour. The system of power and secrets which enabled at least 250,000 morihu, pepe, tamariki and rangatahi to be abused through decades was brought to this land and established through colonisation and oppression. That is how this state was established. It shouldn't be a controversial thing to say. These are facts. We do not have equality in this country. Pick almost any statistic that you like. Housing, incarceration, health, life expectancy. Māori get unfair and unequal outcomes because of unfair and unequal treatment, which started with the Crown's intentional, violent actions to dishonour Te Tiriti o Waitangi. The legacy of that violent oppression, theft and colonisation and the breach of Te Tiriti o Waitangi is represented in today's deeply unequal and unfair statistics. Capitalism. That is an economic system with the key priority to turn profit at almost any cost, needs colonisation.
To the member here, Chloe Swarbrick, well, I'm afraid, Chloe Swarbrick, there was a Treaty of Waitangi signed between two willing parties, where two people with their feet in the sand and their feet in the soil, two parties that signed the treaty that said in exchange for ceding sovereignty to the Queen Victoria, we all get equal rights before the law and our property must be protected, and decision-making over property is the important thing here. Thank you.
The Treaty of Waitangi. The original English version is sacrosanct. All other language translations are irrelevant. The original English law is sacrosanct. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Article 1, Maori ceded sovereignty. Article 2, property rights given for urban and rural lots. Article 3, everyone treated equally as British citizens. And note, Māori sold most of their land and lots to the Crown. Clarify the above with a coloniser descendant, not with a descendant of a violent, warring, brutal, savage cannibal.